You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
All right, everyone, welcome back. You know we love to get into the nitty-gritty here, and today we are diving deep into President Biden's efforts to tackle the student loan debt crisis.
Yeah, buckle up. This one's a big one.
It really is. We've got some awesome sources lined up for this. Reuters, Investopedia, ABC News, and even the New York Post. We're talking the full spectrum here. And get this.
Hit me.
Nearly 1.1 million public service workers have had a collective $78 billion in student loans forgiven under Biden.
Wow. That is a lot.
Right. And that's just one program we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, for sure.
Absolutely. So let's explore exactly what's been achieved, what roadblocks were hit along the way, and maybe most importantly, what it all means looking ahead.
Sounds good to me. Let's get into it.
Start with that $78 billion number.
Okay, so that's from the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, or PSLF for short.
PSLF, right. Which, from our research, seems like something this administration really wanted to make work.
Yeah, definitely. And the recent announcement from December 20th, an additional $4.28 billion in relief, really brings that point home.
Brings the grand total to $78 billion, right? Helping almost 1.1 million workers.
Exactly. Which, is incredible. But I think a lot of people still don't really know how PSLF even works. Like, what's the deal with 120 payments?
Yeah, let's break it down a bit. So basically, under PSLF, you can get your loans forgiven after making 120 qualifying payments while working full-time in public service.
Okay, 120 payments. We're talking 10 years of payments.
Yeah, exactly, 10 years.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always easy to actually get that forgiveness.
Right. A lot of people were running into roadblocks, even if they felt like they met all the requirements.
Yeah, the application was kind of a nightmare. Super complicated, a lot of hoops to jump through.
Mm-hmm.
And the eligibility was pretty narrow, too. So
we're getting denied forgiveness for, technicalities.
It seems that way. And that's where the Biden administration really stepped in.
Yeah, they streamlined the application process, which is great.
Made it a whole lot easier to navigate. And they broadened the eligibility criteria as well, so more people could actually access the relief they were promised.
Which makes sense. After all, the whole point of the program is to help those who've dedicated their careers to public service.
Exactly. So it seems like with PSLF, Biden's focus was on making sure the program actually delivered on its original promises.
Mm-hmm.
But what about those who didn't qualify for PSLF? Were there any other initiatives aimed at helping them?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There were some pretty ambitious proposals floating around for broader debt cancellation, stuff aimed at helping a wider range of borrowers, not just those in public service.
And what was the goal there? Just kind of blanket forgiveness for everyone?
Not quite. I mean, Investopedia and the Department of Education both talked about this, and it seemed like the initial target was around 8 million struggling borrowers.
So folks who were maybe behind on payments or facing some serious financial hardship.
Exactly. And of course, it wasn't that simple, was it?
Nope. Those broader proposals hit some pretty big snags along the way.
Huge legal challenges right out of the gate.
The logistics were probably a nightmare too, right? Implementing that kind of widespread change.
Oh, absolutely. Especially during the pandemic when they were already dealing with payment pauses.
Right. Everything was just so up in the air back then.
Yeah. So ultimately, the administration had to kind of shift gears, focus on helping borrowers navigate the return to repayment as those pandemic pauses ended.
Makes sense. You can only juggle so many things at once, right?
Exactly.
So it sounds like Biden was walking this tightrope of trying to deliver immediate relief to borrowers while also navigating all these legal challenges and logistical hurdles.
A delicate balancing act, for sure.
But despite all the setbacks with those broader plans, there were still some big wins, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. ABC News reported that under Biden, there's been a total of $180 billion in student-owned forgiveness.
$180 billion.
Reaching almost 5 million Americans.
That's incredible. So where's all that relief coming from? It can't just be PSLF, right?
Oh, no, it's a mix of things. We've got PSLF, of course, but also income-driven repayment plans, borrower defense to repayment discharges.
Borrower defense to repayment discharges.
Yeah, that's when borrowers who were defrauded by their colleges can have their loans forgiven.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
And then there's also disability discharges. So it's a multi-pronged approach, really.
It really does seem like even though those broader cancellation plans didn't quite pan out, Biden's presidency has still seen a ton of student loan debt erased.
For sure. There's definitely a clear commitment there to trying to lessen the burden of student loans, both for individuals and for the economy as a whole.
Right, because let's be real, student loan debt is a drag on the entire economy.
Absolutely. But, of course, no policy is perfect. And Biden's efforts have definitely faced some criticism, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of pushback.
Sources like the New York Post, they're highlighting the arguments against broad cancellation.
Like what kinds of arguments?
Well, they say it exceeds presidential authority and that it doesn't address the real problem, which is the rising cost of college.
Right. They're saying it's just a Band-Aid solution.
Yeah.
Not tackling the root cause.
Exactly. And then on the other side of the coin, you've got the supporters of broad cancellation.
Who are saying that this relief is crucial for economic growth.
Yeah. And that it's providing essential help to those who are really struggling, the ones who need it most, you know?
Right. So it's a super complex issue with strong arguments on both sides.
For sure.
And the Supreme Court's rejection of that initial $430 billion plan really highlights just how complex it is.
Yeah. A major legal roadblock.
Really underscored those limitations and the potential roadblocks for any future large-scale debt relief initiatives.
Absolutely.
So where do we go from here? What's next for student loan debt relief? That's the big question, isn't it?
The million-dollar question. I mean, honestly, it's hard to say for sure.
Yeah, there's so many factors at play.
The incoming administration's policies will definitely have a huge impact on how things unfold.
Absolutely. Will they continue these efforts, expand them? Or maybe scrap everything and start from scratch? Who knows?
It's a real nail-biter, that's for sure.
All right, so let's recap. Biden's presidency has definitely been a pivotal period for student loan debt relief.
No doubt about that.
Millions have benefited from all sorts of different programs. But looking ahead, the path forward is murky at best.
The future is uncertain, my friend.
It really is. And that's what I want to leave you all with today. With all this uncertainty swirling around, how do you think the student loan landscape might change in the coming years? And what impact could those changes have on you or on someone you know? It's something to really think about.
Yeah. No easy answers, that's for sure. But the choices made in the next few years are going to have a big impact on a lot of people.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We just scratched the surface of a super complex issue here today.
Barely skimmed it.
Who knows? Maybe we'll revisit it again soon and see what new developments have unfolded. But until then, keep those brains buzzing, folks.
Stay curious.
And we'll see you next time.
Catch you later.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.